surely hamper most squads, but not this one. Gattuso, Ambrosini, and the youngster Francesco Coco, new midfield hopes of Italian football. Graham Poll is our referee from England tonight, and this could be a very important form guide for when the Champions League chase resumes in February. Deportivo, so hard to beat in the first phase, and the task facing the top scorer in Italian football at the moment, and certainly most dangerous striker, Andriy Shevchenko, is to break down possibly the best defence anywhere in the competition at present. And they have their own man in form in this Brazilian Jalminha. Never quite achieved for Brazil in World Cup football, or indeed anywhere on the international stage. But the way he's playing at the moment, he suggests to us that he might yet want to do that. Molina fit to start in goal. You may remember, if you watched the European drama in recent seasons on ESPN, his performances with Atletico Madrid a couple of seasons back. Jose Mari getting the selection tonight for Milan in preference to Oliver Bierhoff. Such is their wonderful strength in depth that they can afford to leave a man of his pedigree on the bench. But they pick on form, and they prefer Jose Mari and Shevchenko right now. Milan are already putting behind them their shocking first phase exit of a year ago, comfortably through their opening group, but they were made to work hard by Galatasaray, as you saw with us, and a positive start as you could wish for from Deportivo here tonight, with Turo Flores back in the starting lineup and shooting on sight. Nothing on here, it's just a toe poke, but that's the sort of thing that strikers in form will try. Abbiati in goal for Milan, keeping Dida out of the side at the moment. Off the top of Ambrosini's head. Deportivo starting with all the confidence in the world here. Shevchenko couldn't get on it. Deportivo unbeaten through the first phase, as I mentioned, and so hard for other teams to break down. They didn't get too many goals themselves. In fact, they've only scored 9 all season in European football, compared to 14 for Milan. But very often with this side, one is enough, and they've come looking for one right from the off here. And Milan are getting a bit of a chasing in the first couple of minutes. Boban got a tackle in. Gattuso tried to play Shevchenko into the game. Again, his first touch wasn't the best, and he was also just penalised for a bit of pushing. Well, Deportivo is setting the tempo here. They went to the top of the Spanish league at the weekend with a win away to Espanyol. And they are, as they're showing here, full of confidence. Way out, opened up again to goal, and Jalminha was absolutely full of confidence in his own shooting ability from distance. It might be a busy night for Abbiati and the defenders in front of him. Good clean hands from the keeper though. Just got the drop on Ambrosini, and that's 2 rangefinders from Deportivo players inside the first 3 or 4 minutes here. There have been patchy spells to Milan and their form early season, but their passage through the first phase was pretty impressive. And with the quality throughout their squad, we know they have the weaponry think it was Ambrosini that caught Victor. It's almost a miraculous tale of development that's gone on in this corner of Spanish football in the last 5 seasons. Deportivo at last crowned champions last season, having knocked on the door 4 years before that. Roque Junior in the air for Milan, but they're being penned well back here, and Deportivo have started like a side who really believe in themselves, even at this level now. An incredible transformation. You expect the Milans to be up there and challenging for the big honours every season, but in their own country, Deportivo have been a small-time club for most of their history. How that has changed now. Paolo Maldini. Shevchenko took up a great position and had room, and it's a brilliant ball into the path of Jose Mari, and brilliantly seen by Molina. Ever present, keeping that record tonight, having passed the fitness test, and he had strained his thigh, but showed little sign of it as he was so sharp off his line there. Was taken off after an hour of the game at the weekend against Espanyol. Roque Junior very tight to Diego Tristan. It's Romero with the throw. Supremely well organised by their coach Javier Ruita. Deportivo very hard to break down. Tremendous amount of experience. And a coach in Irueta who's bold enough to leave top strikers on the bench, although his tactical alterations have been such a feature of their season so far. Tends to rotate his strikers, not just game to game, but within games. Svani Boban is doing most of his best work early on in this game, getting back to help his defenders. Donato carried it out well for Deportivo. Poor ball by Victor. Boban away from Emerson. Jose Mari. Snuffled out by Donato. Jalminha on that left boot. Beautiful pass. Excellent position taken up by Diego Tristan. It's just a little too big for Toro Flores. Well, they're keeping 2 good strikers, 2 proven strikers at this level on the bench here at the start of this game, but Abbiati and Milan will know that on all known form there's the good chance of a change in the striking threat as the game develops here tonight. Emerson won the first header, but it was picked up by Gattuso for Milan. You may have watched Milan's performance against Galatasaray in the first game of this second phase with us on ESPN, and it was a performance really which told us everything about how good they can be, but the little moments of inconsistency have just stopped them making better progress in the first half of the season, and that goes for Italian league level in Serie A and here in the Champions League. They gave themselves an awful lot of work by going 2 down to Galatasaray in the first half at home, and then really dominated for the last hour and could well have won it. They need to make a better start tonight. Can't really afford to lose this, Milan, having dropped 2 points at home in the first game. Deportivo already with 3 points after a convincing victory away to Paris Saint-Germain. The warning, though, for the rest of Europe was quite clear when Deportivo won the initial group they found themselves drawn in this season against Panathinaikos, Hamburg and Juventus. Yes, they did draw 4 of those first 6 games, but they were unbeaten in one of the tougher groups. Again, it's shoot on sight. They're really trying to work young Abbiati in goal here. No real threat from Victor. Got the goal against Juventus. Here's Eroeta, who's done such a fantastic job on limited financial resources at Deportivo, and duly rewarded with the championship. None of the other big clubs in Spain relish games here in the Riator Stadium. It's not a big ground, only around 35,000 capacity. But they and their local rivals in this northwest corner of Spain, Celta Vigo, are really a match for the best now. Coco needed a little too long on it. Jalminia again going through his party pieces. This is Victor. Jalminia had gone again. Emerson got his foot in, but another excellent tackle by Boban, who looks so sharp tonight early on. It's over the top for Jose Mari, and it's a good ball. He needs a bit of help for Milan here. Did so well to help lead that fight back against Galatasaray. Got the first of their 2 goals. Ambrosini just drops it off to Gattuso, who lines one up. He too can shoot from distance. One of this trio of young Italian midfield players who are making their presence felt not only in the Milan side now, but in the Italian international side. And a great time for them to start to come through, as I mentioned to you, with the injuries to Albertini, Ibrahim Ba and Gianni Comandini, as well as Redondo. Won by Shevchenko. Boban looked for a free kick and he didn't get it. Shevchenko stayed down too. And sportingly, Deportivo put it out of play. Just a little knock on the back of the head. Donato. Manuel Pablo. Well defended by Milan. Donato now 38 years of age, would you believe? And still as good as ever, apparently. Deportivo have made such good use of especially a Brazilian contingent. And Cesar Sampaio, another top-line Brazilian for the last few seasons, not even in the starting lineup tonight. Gone from Romero, and again they kept a very solid line, Milan. Turo Flores and Diego Tristan were just trying to gamble a little bit and get in off the back of Costa Corta and Maldini. Here's Gattuso for Milan. Roque Junior. May sound a little perverse to say this when Milan got themselves into all sorts of bother at home to Galatasaray before getting a point, but you just felt with Milan that night that there's an awful lot more ability. Little by little their season does appear to be coming together. And Zaccaroni here, their coach, will probably feel if they can avoid defeat tonight, that sets them up for the second half of the season. A win would be great, but it's very important for Milan to avoid defeat here. They probably view this as their toughest game in the section, away to Deportivo. Mauro Silva off to Romero. Mauro Silva once more. It's pretty across the middle of the park here early on. Manuel Pablo raiding down the right. Stopped by Maldini. Out to Jalminia, looking to take people on and create mayhem. Stroke nonchalantly wide. Romero swings it in. Final ball hasn't quite been what Deportivo have wanted here early on. The great Maldini, one of the few survivors from Milan's last European Cup win in 1994 when they demolished Barcelona. Memorably, Boban also there that night. That was his pass. They're leaving the front two way up the field here, Milan. Shevchenko and Jose Maria, they're asking them to get an awful lot of running done to try to occupy the Deportivo defenders, and it's bodies dropped into the middle just there. There's no way through with 6 or 7 of those famous red and black shirts plugging all the gaps. Germania nicked in front of Ambrosini. Roque Junior, no foul. Graham Paul right up with the action. Here's Roque Junior trying to get forward. One or two occasions early in the game we've seen how they do turn defensive quickly. It was Romero running at Roque Junior. Now the whistle has gone. And it does look as though Abbiati has a problem. And this is most unfortunate. It looks very much as though somebody in the crowd has thrown something onto the field here. Well, that is so sad to see. Thumbs up from the young keeper. He's happy to go on. But it's a terrible occupational hazard that goalkeepers should just not have to worry about. Objects thrown from the crowd. It won't materially affect the game tonight, one hopes, but UEFA take an extremely dim view of crowd behaviour of that sort, and quite rightly. And it may well be that there will be a punishment for the foolish behaviour of one idiot in the crowd. The club will get a possible fine from UEFA. Donato to Mauro Silva. Again he tries the long one, and it was much better, more accurate to Turo Flores. His control was good, but his pass wasn't very good. Shevchenko got on it for Milan. Deportivo get the decision. Been in fantastic form, Shevchenko, in front of goal. Good win for Milan at the weekend away to Udinese. They've picked up 10 points from the last 12 in Serie A and beginning to look the part. Here's Shevchenko. Gattuso. Clever ball down the side by Helve. Headed clear by Donato. Mauro Silva kept it simple, and Romero just put his foot through it. It was the right thing at the right time, but well covered off. They're getting plenty of midfield players in and around the ball when it breaks down. Milan, they look very well prepared here tonight, and they did get a lesson at home to Galatasaray because they were so slow to start and were punished for it. Rare mistake by Maldini, but it might be costly. He was so quick to recover himself, but well struck from distance, and that time Abbiati was stretching. They are so full of confidence. Turo Flores on this occasion doesn't even look up. The great Maldini was the culprit for Milan. Oh, and it whistles past the top corner. That's the nearest they've come. Costa Curta in the air. High feet by Gattuso, free kick. And the skipper, Mauro Silva, felt it. Oh, and he's drawn blood with his boot. Ball was there to be won, admittedly, and Gattuso's not the tallest, so throwing his foot high in the attempt to win the ball is not the most serious of offences, but it might have ramifications here, I'm afraid, for Deportivo. Yet another of the Brazilian contingent here at Deportivo, and yet another former World Cup winner. I think Gattuso's point is that the ball was there to be won, and if Mauro Silva was brave enough to put his head in where it hurts, then that can be the consequence. I don't think there was any malice in it. They do not want to lose this wonderful campaigner inside the first 20 minutes here. It's a big, big game in Group B if you're watching with us on ESPN throughout Asia. Two sides who have started to look stronger the longer this Champions League season has developed. Deportivo might try to play keep ball while they continue running repairs to Mauro Silva. Noureddin Nebet. Donato's got it. They really need him to continue though, with all his vast experience at the top level. Donato again goes long over the top, and it's that same raking pass wide left, and again they get some change out of it. It's Turo Flores. Brilliant ball this time. And Diego Tristan was just slightly caught on his heels, but good following up from Victor here. Emerson takes over. Did well. Fabulous body strength from Emerson, and he's a tricky runner. Superb football from Deportivo La Coruña, and sadly the finish didn't match it. Mauro Silva, with the blood injury, is back in there, and it drops to Jalminha, probably on his weaker right side here, after Emerson did some more Brazilian sorcery in the build-up. Doesn't strike it cleanly, does he? But the threat's clear. Might even have had time to take a touch and put it onto his left foot. Manuel Pablo. You look around this Deportivo side and the substitutes tonight, and so many players, even in their 30s, still playing at the peak. Here's Boban. Ambrosini. Deportivo had the early chances here if you're just joining us. But this is better for Milan. They've got Helveg in down the right here. Just needed a touch, it dropped to Boban. And that's the best chance that Milan have had so far. Good response from the visitors here. And a really perfectly weighted ball across the face of goal by Helveg. We've seen Boban score those. Romero. It's high-class stuff here again tonight in the Champions League. Diego Tristan just leaning on Costa Curta. Offside. Coco, former under-21 star, having the best season of his young career. Mauro Silva to Donato. So much know-how and experience of the biggest occasions, these Brazilians. Here's Emerson, who could never quite establish himself in the Brazilian side, nor Jalminha on it. Mauro Silva gets another free kick, knowingly. Manuel Pablo, good ball, and he continued his run. Victor, will he try and go outside and whip one in? Good defending from Coco. Hasn't got to the byline really, so far. It's a vastly experienced squad, this Deportivo lineup, but it's also a telling factor, I think, that one or two of the younger players and Spanish players in this Deportivo squad have had their career level brought up. Men like Victor brought into the Spanish squad. The success breeds success and breeds individual confidence. Playing around men with the know-how and the CVs of Mauro Silva and Donato. Boban for Milan. Costa Corta to Roque Junior. Jose Mari wanted it short, now he spins into the gap and it's a brilliant run. And an equally fine piece of defending by Donato. Top quality football. Jalmini on the counter for Deportivo. Again the front two spread so wide. But this time Milan were equal to it. Ambrosini. Costa Corta to Maldini, now having a dart down the left-hand side. Here's Coco, will he try and go outside? No, it was the early one, trying to bend it into the path of Shevchenko. And Victor, so good going forward, very important tonight for Deportivo that he stops Coco when Milan have possession. Sometimes these injuries are just wear and tear on old knocks, and I think sometimes, although they do stand accused of playing the old soldier, it's just that sort of shock to an old injury that can be painful. I think sometimes we should give them the benefit of the doubt. Ambrosini, Maldini, Coco. Mauro Silva, the old man, getting the free kick out of Maldini. Didn't seem to be much in that, did there? But they do know how to do it. Not much space around the middle of the field in this one. Look how tight man for man players are taking each other. Here's a game breaker though, it's Jalmini. Don't know that Diego Tristan actually read the pass. Seemed to be checking to try to go outside Helveg and then had to come back. Problem here for Deportivo is there is so much know-how, especially down there right with Helveg, a very experienced international, the Dane, and he does tend to do a very good job of helping out his centre-backs, covering the runners. 4 or 5 times already Deportivo have switched the play so well, especially to their left, but they haven't actually got behind Milan. Helveg now tracking back again here, as you can see, and it did the job. That's exactly what he does so well, helping Roque Junior, making a 2-on-1. So even though it's good build-up play by Deportivo, they don't actually get any benefit from it. Abbiati apparently unconcerned by the earlier disruption and the apparent blow to the head off the top of Ambrosini's head. Stopped by Donato. But the first touch Tristan, but Maldini was too strong. Milan seem to be coping a little better with the threat here of the Deportivo front two. Gattuso to Boban. Helveg took up another superb position. Didn't have a great first touch though, and invited the challenge in from Romero, who did well. It's developing into another of those tight games here in the Riazor Stadium. Here's Gattuso. Clever ball. Clever run by Shevchenko, but well defended by Deportivo. Emerson. Jalminha. Emerson once more. Tried to inject just that little bit of pace into the build-up. Another player of huge experience, Emerson, even if he never quite cracked it as a Brazilian international. Off the top of Romero's head. Not many goals in games involving Deportivo. They drew 1-1 away to Panathinaikos, beat Hamburg here 2-1, and 0-0 away to away to Juventus. A 1-1 at home to Juventus here, a 1-0 win at home to Panathinaikos, and a 1-1 draw away to Hamburg in the final opening group game. They keep it tight, and they know how to win, having got their noses in front. Are they good enough to get their noses in front against Milan? Emerson was caught by Boban. No interpretation required. It's very tight in those central midfield areas. Coco tracking back well down his side. Well won back by Manuel Pablo though for Deportivo. Emerson off to Jalminha. Crowd warning him that Jose Mari was coming. He tricked his way past a couple nonetheless. Danger here for Milan. Still danger for Milan. Abbiati spread himself, but it wasn't enough. Off the line by Roque Junior. Still the danger. Jalminha misses his kick. And two good sights of goal go begging for Deportivo. It was a brilliant piece of build-up play by Tristan and well defended by Roque Junior. But to be frank with you, Jalminha again doesn't get the contact on the ball that he's looking for. And again it's on his weaker right foot, isn't it? Just like the first one earlier. Now has Mauro Silva won yet another free kick? A yellow card here from Mr. Paul for Thomas Helveg. And I wonder if it's for kicking the ball away here after the whistle has gone. Yes, he just came through and, look, just knocked the ball away, stopping the game. That's why he got the card, not for the foul. You just felt in this pressure cooker atmosphere here as though there was a card coming for somebody soon. Helveg feels aggrieved, probably because there was nothing in the initial challenge. It's a tight one here tonight. Both sides need to keep 11 men out there. They're fronting each other up all around the field. It's man for man almost. Mauro Silva, brilliant ball, but well defended by Milan. Tristan and Flores are having big problems staying onside here. Costa Curta and Maldini holding a tremendous line. Here is Maldini. Trying to float one into Jose Mari. Did well to win it back for Milan. Boban. Again, feels as though he's been the aggrieved party. Might have had a case that time. Victor just stepping across him. from Boban. Coco gets on it. It's a decent ball to the back post. And Molina spent an awfully long time running after it with his head in the air. Nuruddin Neymet for Deportivo. Brings in Manuel Pablo, a player whose career has certainly taken an upward path since coming here, called into the Spanish squad recently. Here's Mauro Silva. By and large, Milan have dealt with everything when it's been knocked into the penalty area. It's one good battle here tonight, and there's a lot of very clever, tight football being played. Possibly the two favourites to emerge from this group, and there doesn't appear to be much between them so far. Manuel Pablo, Emerson, brilliant invention, but well defended by Costa Curta, so experienced. Talked a lot about the experience in the Deportivo side, but you've got men like Costa Curta, who's been a top player since the mid-80s. Maldini, a similar story. Helveg, who's been a stalwart at international level for Denmark. Boban. They have, as they say, seen it all and won it all. And then this clutch of bright young talents. Shevchenko. Here's Boban. Coco's going outside him. Shevchenko went a second time, but very well defended by Emerson. Another half slip by Maldini, but no danger. Done a lot of eye-catching things in this first half, Jalminha, but sad to relate for him and Deportivo. The chances that came his way were not taken. Wonder how important they'll prove tonight. Mauro Silva, so strong in possession. It's so hard to get the ball off him. Gattuso's just the latest to find that out. Just puts his body across you all the time. It's an art. Manuel Pablo, Victor. Milan are doing a really good job defending their penalty area here. They did their best to test out Abbiati early on, but by and large it has been attempts from distance. Milan get the decision. All round the field, just like with Victor against Coco here, it's almost man for man, and who wins the individual battles. Well won by Gattuso. Helveg takes over from Milan. It wasn't the greatest ball from Maldini again. Shevchenko must have thought he'd done enough, but he couldn't get the better of Neymet. Now can Deportivo turn defence into attack here? Do believe the whistle's gone. Gattuso was isolated by the referee, and it looks as though he will become the second Milan player to get a caution here in the first half. Pulling and pulling on the shirt of Turo Flores. Mauro Silva to Romero. Jalminha with space. He's getting all the space he could wish for. Can he find that devastating, decisive pass? Not on that occasion. Here's Shevchenko now. Cleverly away from Mauro Silva. He has some help. Tried to go all alone though and just ran into the crowd. Neves set across him. Another who's yet to have a sight of goal in the game. Manuel Pablo. Neves drilled it at Emerson and he couldn't collect. Good covering round from Coco. Shown a lot of defensive awareness tonight. Linking with Maldini. To be honest with you, I've never seen Paolo Maldini give the ball away quite as often as in this first half. This was Shevchenko trying to go the direct route. Here is Maldini. That one finds a target. And he's furiously arguing the toss with Coco. Bottom of your picture there, Maldini. Even the very, very best can have below bar performances. Helveg takes over. Gattuso. Picked up by Ambrosini. He's plugging a lot of gaps well here for Milan in the first half. Miscue by Costa Curta, but well protected by Gattuso. Roque Junior, Costa Curta wants it, and got it. Helveg's control wasn't the best. Safety first defending now. Clash here between Jose Maria and Donato. "38 years of age." Good turn of foot by Costa Curta at 34 years of age then. Here's Maldini, a mere youth of 31. He's only won the European Cup on 3 occasions. Offside, Coco. I tell you, if you sat down and worked out the amount of caps, major trophies and big games that the players on both of these sides have played in, it might be a record breaker. Maldini was heard to complain the other day that he had only played in 1 World Cup final and won the European Cup 3 times, the Italian title 6 times, and he feels he's underachieved, he says. Here's one of the hungry young lions, Gattuso. Tremendous defending by Donato. It's not the prettiest game we're going to see this season, but it's a very, very fine competition. Roque Junior got his foot in. Rescued by Toro Flores. Final pass has been the problem here in the first half for Deportivo. All around the field, it's hard work. Romero. Mauro Silva. Deportivo like to keep it tight. They won't be disconcerted by this. The record says they're happy to win 1-0. Jalminia. No power again. Easy take for Abbiati. The build-up play was good, but once it gets to the penalty area, they can't yet find the difference, Deportivo. And Victor probably again miscues that. But I will repeat, they have Roy Mackay and Fernando waiting to get out there if it develops like this. No offside this time. Helveg goes again for Milan. More tremendous cover, this time by Neves, the Moroccan. Tends to get overlooked a little bit, the Moroccan star Neves, because of the big names around him, but what a top quality defender. Quickly taken by Milan. Mauro Silva was alert to the danger. So knowing these big name Brazilian stars. The rain begins to fall. It's quite a feature of life in this corner of Spain. We're a long way from the sunny south here temperate climate or year-round. And so close to the Atlantic, it gets one of the highest average rainfalls in Western Europe. Pitch playing well though. Costa, closing minute of this first 45. Should be a little added time by Graham Paul. Looks as though it will be 3 minutes. Gattuso. Coco played his position really well in this first half. Shevchenko. Had the confidence to hold it, but he needs help, Shevchenko. Mauro Silva came through and got the ball. Well picked up by Gattuso, though. Costa Curta just drops it off to Roque Junior. Width provided by Helveg. Now they'll have a go down the other side, Milan. Jose Maria's gone, and he's onside. Couldn't make more of it. And for once, Deportivo really did get turned around. Ambrosini's head goes down. Disappointed the final ball wasn't better. That's one of the few times in the half that they did open up, this Deportivo defence. Three more minutes to be played here then, in first half injury time. Boban doesn't need to rush. They'll be happy to keep it up this end. Coco couldn't really get off the ground. Ambrosini, goal! Milan! And it's Thomas Helveg who's got it! A small band of Milan fans celebrates in one corner of the Riazor Stadium, and the Dane Thomas Helveg produces a vital goal. In a game short on chances, he was good enough to seize the opportunity. They just scrambled for it, Ambrosini and Shevchenko in the box, and it came right through the crowd from Helveg's boot and under the keeper. Deportivo don't concede many. Now they have. Can they hit back in injury time themselves? Jalminia. Milan will just need to hold firm here. Manuel Pablo. Headed clear by Maldini. Shot comes in with some more menace this time from Jalminia. But again, Abbiati got down early and well. But again, it's not quite struck perfectly, is it? That was nicely stroked by Jalminia. Manuel Pablo. There hasn't been enough threat when it gets to those positions in the first half for Deportivo, I'm afraid. Emerson wins it back for the home side. Donato. Here's Jalminia again, might line one up from distance. Not been his half. 5 or 6 times he's had sights of goal, but Thomas Helveg only needed one opportunity here for Milan. Stunned the home crowd. Time up in the first period. And it's gone very quiet in the Riazor Stadium, and that's because Milan have just got their noses in front on the stroke of half-time here. In fact, in the injury time played by Graham Paul, the referee. A hard-fought contest. A couple of bookings for Milan in the first 45 minutes, but more importantly, the lead goal from the Dane Thomas Helveg on a night of few opportunities And Milan threaten Deportivo's wonderful home record here. They've got to find a little bit more. We know they have the players to do that, Deportivo, but Milan on course now for a very big win away from home. It's Milan in front at half-time, and it's back to John Dykes in the studio.
Welcome back. Deportivo La Coruña have a job to do at home at the Riazor. They trail AC Milan by a goal to nil in what has been a very, very competitive fixture in Group B of the second phase of the Champions League. Graham Paul rather won't see the level of skill he's had around him every week in the English Premiership, and it's going to be a great second half. Let's get back to Paul Dempsey, your match commentator.
Welcome back to the Riazor Stadium. Deportivo La Coruña seldom lose here, but Milan have put it up to them. Molina beaten in first half injury time by Thomas Helveg's strike from the edge of the box, and that gives Milan hope of a vital away win here as the rain comes teeming down in this northwest corner of Spain. Milan get us underway then in this second period. With a win they can make up all the ground they lost on the opening night in this Group B of the second phase. Turo Flores wins the first free kick off the first half goal scorer, Helveg. Mauro Silva. Maldini got his foot in, dropped out to Mauro Silva! Fine keeping from Aviati. Well, that sets down a marker for the second period from Deportivo. They have to be more penetrative, and that was threatening. Milan have done well here, there's no disputing that. Signs were in Serie A they were hitting best form, 10 points in 12 before this game. And here's Shevchenko, cheeky, and Molina took no liberties with it. Might have been dropping outside his post, but he wasn't taking any risks. Donato forward for Deportivo. Can they get more help into the front two, and can the front two get into the danger areas to hurt this Milan rearguard, where Costa Curta, Roque Junior and Maldini have largely been comfortable, and they've had Abiati plugging all the gaps between them as well. This was the effort by Shevchenko at the other end. Surely it is drifting past that post, but Molina hasn't become a top keeper by taking risks. What a miscue. I think it was Francesco Cocco. They're not playing at their peak here, Milan, but they are competing. Now they get a little bit stretched. It's Turo Flores. Fine defending by Costa Curta. Turo Flores once more. Mauro Silva. Manuel Pablo. Maldini got there ahead of Victor. It's a battle, and Maldini and Milan are well up for it. Corner. Mind you, Deportivo also love a battle. And they do have plenty of options, like Roy Mackay, who's starting to warm up here, it would appear. Abiati didn't take a risk, got a palm to it, and did clear his area. Well won by Jose Mari. Clever play. It's not a night for the spectacular, but every Milan player is doing his bit for the team pattern. They get a win here, they'll have 4 points going into Christmas, and they'll be on course, they feel. Shevchenko. Gattuso. And let's not forget that there could be many more resources available to Milan when we return to the Champions League in February. Not that those out there now have not done an excellent job, which they have, but surely men like Redondo, Ba, Albertini will be knocking on the door when fit again. Chance here! Oh, what a miss by Boban! That could have sealed it surely here, and will they rue it? It's a sitter at this level. Deportivo went to sleep momentarily, and nobody picked Boban up when the cross came in. They should never have allowed the cross in either, but Coco just wanted it more. Boban gets into a fantastic position and squanders it. That's the chance of the night. Deportivo normally so solid defensively, but they came apart then. Jalminha to Mauro Silva. Now will they profit from that let-off? Turo Flores. It's just not happening in the final third for Deportivo, but don't write them out just yet. Well won by Nebet. Here he comes now, the Moroccan. When he does get forward, he adds a new dimension for Deportivo. He's gone again here, and he was seen by Turo Flores, but Roque Jr. has been rock solid. Pardon the pun. Emerson. Manuel Pablo. Emerson once more. Mauro Silva. Up to here it's been good from Deportivo. It's when it gets to here that the problems start again and again and again. They just know where to stop the attacks. It's Shevchenko on the counter here for Milan. Andrei Shevchenko went the long way. It might yet go in though. Great clearance on the line by Manuel Pablo. And Milan have now squandered two gilt-edged opportunities since we kicked off for the second half. You'd put your money on Shevchenko here, the top gun in Italian football. Seemed to take an age to make up his mind. Well defended. And Deportivo is still in it. Coco tracking back. Well, you need to be ruthless at this level. And Milan have had the opportunities to put this beyond Deportivo, and they haven't taken them. Shevchenko does all the hard work, slips Donato in the rain, and it's a one-on-one, the thing he loves. Molina was excellent staying on his feet, but it might have been an own goal by Nebet, but for a brilliant piece of covering by the unsung Manuel Pablo. Here come Deportivo. Jalminha. No free kick. And Ambrosini leads the charge of Milan players to the referee saying, hey, if it's not a free kick, he's thrown himself and should be booked. And he wasn't. Costa Curta. Good ball. Helveg. Got wrong side of Mauro Silva, but he just has his ability to get himself back in position. It's unbelievable. Boban. It's very important for Milan, if they can, to put the missed chances out of their minds here and keep playing. They've done well enough to create them. They've got to hope to make one more and then take it. Offside. A wry, knowing look from Jose Mari. I think Molina did a good job in the build-up to that second chance by Shevchenko, just staying on his feet like a top keeper. Didn't go down and make it easy for Shevchenko. Always been excellent on one-on-ones. Flores, again, the service from the wide left position has left plenty to be desired here. I wonder if he's looking anxiously toward the bench now, with the substitutes warming up. A word between Mr. Paul and the goal scorer Helveg, who's already on a yellow card, remember. It looks as though Graham Paul has perhaps given Thomas Helveg a final warning here. On from Jose Mari. Can Deportivo lift it? Start to penetrate a little bit more. Nebet to Emerson. They've had plenty of possession. Yes, Roy Mackay is getting ready. Romero did well. Ambrosini did well in his turn though. They've been dogged in the middle of the park tonight, Milan. It's Shevchenko here. And that time, Donato didn't slip. Manuel Pablo. Jarminia. Manuel Pablo again. Jarminia's seen plenty of it, but he's yet to produce the really telling contribution. Emerson. His old shimmy routine, nicely done. Jarminia. Well, we're getting toward double finger strikes on the target, but really the return for all the shooting has been poor. It's time for a change, and it's pretty predictable. Listen to the roar for Roy Mackay. Turo Flores' work has ended for the night, and a frustrating night it has been. The Argentine off and the Dutch striker on, and it's an old Deportivo tactic that has worked for them so often. Mackay coming on fresh for the latter period of the game and exploding as a front man with fresh legs. Here he is. Well, that would have been an absolute wonder goal with his first touch. The Dutchman, he's been in excellent form recently again, working his way back to full fitness after a serious injury. And in fact, the last two games in the Champions League, he has been used as a substitute, and the warning for Milan, he scored in both of them when he came on. Mistake by Tristan. Yet again, Mauro Silva just puts his body in the way and wins possession back. Is there a better player in the world at doing that? Deportivo seem to have stepped it up a little bit, but Jarminia's passing's not been good enough. And we know he's got all the ability. Here's Helveg. Milan probably feel they need a second one, and they know they should have had one. Shevchenko. Nebet, very composed, and the keeper didn't take a risk with it. Doesn't concede many, Molina. I really think that the best of this game is about to start to unfold here. Deportivo will get bolder the longer it goes. They must get a goal here. And how much effort have Milan put in so far? Here's Helveg. It's been a really hard night's work. Helveg's got a knock here. (50-50). Both players went for the ball only, and Nebet was good enough to get there first. And that little feud between Helveg and the referee takes a new turn. Graham Poll just sends him off for treatment. Just winded, I think. Zaccaroni standing in the dugout. It's a big night for him. He can really put one or two of his critics away with a win here. But the signs of improvement have been there in recent weeks for Milan. Here's Shevchenko. Coco got good pace. Won a corner. Excellent football. Could become a very big name for Italy. Been at Milan since he was a schoolboy, and in fact they thought so much of him as a 14-year-old they actually had him training with the first team squad as a schoolboy. back in the mid-90s. Vital here that Deportivo don't concede again. It's funny Boban to take it. It's a good one. But again, Mauro Silva just so alert, thinking so quickly. Shevchenko hunting for it. Clean take by Molina. Jalminha. Well struck. Great ball. Maldini's the first defender. And he did a superb job. Brilliant Maldini. That's more like the man who's seen it and won it all, but it was given away in turn by Coco. Showed his inexperience momentarily. Emerson takes over. Not good enough, Emerson. The killer ball into a crowded area, snuffed out by Milan. Sometimes at this level, it takes 2 or 3 passes to make the space for the really telling one. Just like that. Well seen by Nebet. You've got to work your way into the position. And that's where the cleverness of the top player takes over. It was Gattuso's ball to the back post. Clever again from Gattuso. Helveg with the throw. Given away cheaply, and yet again Mauro Silva he's like a radar. It's unbelievable the amount of possession the man picks up. Manuel Pablo. Victor. They need more out of Victor here, Deportivo. Got a big goal against Juventus. One touch, Mauro Silva on. Romero. Well, they threaten, but they don't really test the keeper. That's the story of the night so far for Deportivo. But they are at least getting some service into Mackay. And a really superb year last year. Here he is again. Deflection. Abbiati was alert. Couldn't quite keep it in though. It's a corner. Well, Mackay's doing his share outside the box as well. And suddenly the pressure just seems to be lifting a little bit here on the goal defended by Abbiati of Milan. Yes, had dropped behind. Miscued corner. Easily cleared up by Coco. Mauro Silva. Romero. Milan defending deep and plugging all the gaps expertly. In time-honoured fashion, an Italian club is saying to the opponent, we've got a goal, are you good enough to get one against us? Deportivo might be. But Milan really are up for the battle here tonight. Gattuso over the top, it's too big for Shevchenko. Nuruddin Nebet. As the game goes on. Mackay in there hunting, putting himself about. Just what Deportivo needed. Good tactics which they've used before to good effect. Nebet was just caught on the knee. Inadvertently, I think. Corner count mounting here for Deportivo. Danger! Well saved, well claimed by Abbiati. Well, it was there to be battled for, and Donato threw himself at it. And yet again, I don't think it's a clean header, because the defender was just doing enough to put him off. Well, they have had sights of goal here tonight. Time and again, a Milan defender has just been putting himself across his man, or there's been a miscue slightly. Been a frustrating night for Deportivo in front of goal. Maldini doesn't want to come forward, just pushed it on and stayed at home. Milan playing to orders here. And the most important order, keep it tight at the back. On from Jalminia. Manuel Pablo with all the room he could wish for. Better passing. Jalminia fed by Emerson. They have to stay patient. It's Emerson. Not bad. But so well defended by Milan. Irueta has to hope that they can stay patient. Great chasing by Shevchenko and equally by Nebet, who is in his turn an outstanding defender, the Moroccan star. Mauro Silva now. Jalminia. Emerson wants it. Goes past him to Manuel Pablo. Crowd urge him to get it into top gear and go forward. But those balls whipped in from those positions are easy for Milan's big name defenders to deal with. They need a little more than that. But they can't get round the side. That's the problem. And Milan have worked so hard to stop them doing that tonight. Here's the potential game breaker, Jalminia. Has he won a free kick? No, he hasn't. Graham Paul was right there. Might be a counter-attack on here. Jose Mari seemed to go the wrong way. Mauro Silva, as easy as you like. Romero forward. Still Milan work so hard defensively. They're working for each other all around the field. Passing men on, covering each other so well. Got to take plenty from Deportivo to break them down. Again, yet again, meat and drink for Costa Curta. He'll head them away all night. Well played, Coco, well played. Victor complains, but Coco knew more. Tremendous. Victor needs to stay disciplined. Don't write Deportivo out here though. Sonny Boban is about to make his way off for Milan. Looked very fit tonight for a player with such a terrible run of injuries behind him, but did miss a chance which would surely have put the game beyond Deportivo. And it's Federico Giunti, another of the young guns, who replaces him. Well, this is a club that always wants to buy big names, but let's give Milan credit here for the way they've brought youngsters on in the last year or so. Giunti, Ambrosini, Gattuso. Deportivo, tactically speaking, still have Fernando as a possible extra striker to bring on. Again, it's a ploy that's worked before. The problem really is that with Jalminia unable to provide that killer ball tonight, so well blocked off at every turn, they haven't had the width outside to turn the defenders like Roque Junior. But they know their jobs, Deportivo, and they will stick at it. Is there another change coming? It looks as though Deportivo are bringing Victor off, and would you believe Fernando, no sooner said than done, comes on here. Well, it's worked for Deportivo before, bringing Mackay and Fernando on as changes. You just wonder whether, if they do lose this one tonight, Irueta the coach may feel afterwards, well, perhaps I just respected Milan a bit too much from the off tonight. Maybe it might have been better to go at home a little more boldly from the off with Mackay and Fernando. Service has not been good enough. It's easy for Abbiati and his defenders if it's knocked in, hopefully from 40 yards from full-back positions like this. This is aimless at this level. It's easy for players of this quality to defend that. The problem here for Deportivo, when their basic attacking routes through Jalminha have been blocked off by Milan's good preparation and good tactics, plan B has not been good enough. Shevchenko back helping out. Well stopped by Emerson. Manuel Pablo. Romero, can he provide a fresh idea? No, it's just hoofed in there. It's so easy for Milan to defend that. And this is not good enough for Deportivo at this level. This is the Champions League. Counter-attack from Milan. Jose Mari. Well, did he play for it? I think the referee thought he played for it. Ran into Nebet. Other referees might have given that, I think. But unlike the last two seasons, interpretation is everything again with refereeing. Quickly taken by Deportivo. Now they have a free kick, a little nearer to goal. Good injection of pace into the attack. Ambrosini stopped Mackay illegally. And it's just about within range here. Abbiati said to the referee, you just make sure they don't take the free kick till the whistle goes. Milan will drag this out, you may be sure. Slowly, slowly going backwards. Will it be Jalminha? It is. Tremendous save by Abbiati. At last, a really meaningful save. And at last, Jalminha threatened to score. It's taken a long time and it took a set piece, but that was going in. Brilliant reach. Danger here. Well, it just dropped in a puddle. And that really helped Milan. Fernando was blocked as he tried to go for it. And he's complaining that Helbeck stuck the elbow in his face. But watch what happens here. The first header just drops in front of Abbiati. On another night, on a bony pitch, a hard pitch, it might have popped up dangerously. But when he's been asked to produce, the keeper has done so for Milan. Now the home crowd appears to be encouraged. Costacurta wasn't waiting for Abbiati, and he put it to safety, very well defended. It's a corner, but no worse. This again the Jalminha free kick. Two hands from Abbiati. Better service this time. Danger here. Nebet gets round the back. Brilliant defending by Roque Junior. Brilliant. Mauro Silva. Now Deportivo look a little more menacing. Milan have put a lot of hard work and a lot of hard running and concentration into the first 70-odd minutes. They're being a little more stretched now, and Nebet gets forward to good effect. Good ball to the back stick. Well, I think Abbiati threw himself for the cameras, as they say here. No real goal threat from that header. Better ball in, though. More threatening, stretching defenders. But really, Tristan was being asked to head it back across the goal to create a real threat, and Abbiati read him. Jose Mari. Romero. It's still up for grabs here. Deportivo, the only unbeaten side in the competition. looking for a goal to keep that record intact. Jalminha, they look so much more threatening now, with 3 men up, and they've just raised the temperature here, very effectively. Donato out-bottled for once. Giunti. Whistle gone. Might have been for an offside against Shevchenko, I think. Are Milan starting to look slightly leg-weary here? Well won back by Helveg. Be a great time for Milan to get their second now. That would really lift them over the line. As it is, Deportivo is setting the agenda, even if it is still a frustrating night for them. Virueta, in his anxiety, comes out of his technical area and gets sent back in by the fourth official, Steve Bennett. 15 minutes now left on the clock here in the Riazor Stadium. Milan still on course for a hard-fought, dogged victory. Coco carried it well, didn't panic, brilliant. Shevchenko got the better of Nevet, got the better of Mauro Silva. Jose Mari tried to link with Shevchenko, but he asked him to do an awful lot. But then again, you're going to feed a player with his unbelievable scoring record at every opportunity. Onside. Milan do get turned around here now. 2 in the box to aim for. Roque Junior again was so sharp. Maldini couldn't tidy up though. It's offside. Whistle's gone. Bit unfortunate for Deportivo, as Jalminha started to follow up so well. Almost smuggled back possession. In fact, it may have been given for a goal kick. Abbiati, when asked, produced a big save or a couple in this second half. And may have more to do here. Deportivo are getting bolder and bolder. Might leave themselves exposed on the counter-attack eventually. Well won back though by Mauro Silva. They are starting to turn Milan around a bit more here. Better going forward certainly, but very well defended by Milan. Carried clear by Maldini to Gattuso. Given away by Giunti. Little careless at this level. Didn't look where he was playing it. Onside again. Diego Tristan, perhaps showing us his inexperience. Shevchenko on the turn for Milan. Yet again Mauro Silva just gets his foot in to stop the danger. Romero. What a good battle we've got here. Jalminha is becoming more and more threatening. Yellow card for Federico Giunti, who will be suspended for Milan's next game in the Champions League in the new year. Already on a yellow card tonight. Here's Ambrosini. Giunti. Ambrosini. Gattuso. Shevchenko. Clever keep ball from Milan. Brilliant from Gattuso. Superb. Helveg. They're keeping it brilliantly here. Giunti might think about a shot. It's a clever ball instead, and oh, Jose Mari almost through. It's Milan's turn to dictate for a moment here, and they need a second goal to finish it. Offside. Clever header, wouldn't have counted. Another change. Emerson is the player to make way this time for Lionel Scaloni. Defender or midfield player by trade, an Argentine. Taking over from a Brazilian here. But Deportivo happy to throw more and more men forward. Better ball to the back post this time. Wouldn't come down quickly enough. Cleared by Maldini. Not far though. Manuel Pablo. Deportivo getting bolder and bolder here, looking for that goal that they need to protect their record. So strong at home, unbeaten in the Champions League this season. It's better now, working more cagily and cleverly toward the Milan goal. They surely thought they'd got a corner. Costa Curta and Roque Junior. Debating it afterwards, but the important thing was that they stopped Diego Tristan. Jose Mari makes way, and Milan bring on Serginho. Striker off, midfield player on. Serginho, no doubt so disappointed. Just looking at the hand signals there to give a clue. Might have been 5-4-1. Serginho generally down the left side of midfield. Got a goal against Leeds United early in the campaign, you might remember. Does look as though that's the way they're going to line up. And just leaving Shevchenko at the front to try to poach one on the counter, just like here. Does so much running off the ball, Shevchenko. Milan have been excellent defensively. There's no denying that, surely. So hard to break down. But will it be enough? Will they need another goal? Are Deportivo good enough to get one against this Milan side in this mood? Manuel Pablo gives it away cheaply. Ambrosini took a liberty but knew what he was doing. Costa Curta to Helveg. Gattuso's got in front of the ball, doesn't often do that. Roque Junior dwelt on it but knew what he was doing, and they are keeping the ball really expertly here, Milan. Expertly. Serginho goes on the break here. It's Serginho. Oh, Shevchenko was screaming for it across the face of Molina, but he didn't get it. Here come Deportivo. Nebet, Mauro Silva, Jalminha gets a free kick off Ambrosini. Now, was that a cross or a shot? Either way, Molina did what he had to do, the keeper, when Shevchenko was making his run for the far post. It's so tight here. Can Deportivo make and take a chance? Milan give it away cheaply. Oh, brilliant from Abbiati. That's just what you need away from home in a big game when your side is starting to come under pressure. Your keeper comes 15 yards out of his goal and says, out the way, that is my ball. Picked up pace on the turf and skipped away from Fernando, who with due respect is not the quickest. Has other strengths. Won it back well, Fernando, and used his strength to good effect then to win a free kick. He's a rugged, solid, tight, doesn't have the change of pace, but does have physical strength. Jalminia over the free kick. Now will he try the shot here? Good variety. Well built up by Deportivo, but they just cannot get the break of the ball in the box. Shevchenko doesn't need to lose it, but he has lost it. Fine covering by Ambrosini. Impatience from Manuel Pablo off the top of Donato's head. Mauro Silva's there, but it breaks for Milan. Giunti. We now have just over 5 minutes plus injury time. Helvik screaming for it. Serginho went outside instead. Good enough for Milan. They've got a free kick. And a card coming for Donato. Not much debate about that. Ruthless defending from the Brazilians, a much understated part of their game. This is definitely within Shevchenko range. 4 goals in the Champions League so far this campaign. Make that almost 5. Molina was full stretch. Did it hit the post on the way through? Let's have a look here. Might just have grazed the upright. A near thing indeed. Rattled the cage of the goal. That would have finished it. Crunching challenge, but it breaks for Deportivo. Chase for Maldini, which he wins superbly. And he gets the throw-in. It's just like the old days watching Milan tonight, I tell you. The formation has changed, and of course the playing personnel have changed, but going back to the late 80s and early 90s when Milan were the top team in European football, they had so much ability, but nobody fought and defended and played for each other the way that team did. And this lot tonight are doing that away from home. Mistake by Ambrosini, which he recovers. He came in from behind to make the tackle, gets away with that. But he was really just making sure at all costs that Scaloni didn't get forward. No danger for Abbiati. It's not been a great night for Diego Tristan, I'm afraid. But yet again he was put under pressure by a defender, and when it's really counted, it's just like the old. I say it's all changed personnel-wise, but when you've got Costa Curta and Maldini at the heart of your defence, we could be watching Milan of 6 or 8 years ago. They were there then as they are now. Here's Serginho. Runners off the ball here. Giunti, nice idea. Off his line, Molina. Unlucky. It's almost now or never for Deportivo. Excellent from Ambrosini. Hard to pick a fault really with any individuals in this Milan lineup tonight. Still there's time for Deportivo if they're good enough. Brilliant from Helveg. Brave defending, made it his and took the knock. Got himself hurt for the team under the physical challenge of Fernando. And it did hurt. He's not acting here, I can tell you. There's blood everywhere. Brilliant. Selfless defending. Made sure he got his head to it first, and he was headed in turn by Fernando. Let's hope it's not a serious one. Sometimes the head injuries look worse than they really are, just because of the amount of blood involved. The referee's going to allow the corner to be taken with Helveg off for treatment. Milan down to 10 men momentarily. But Milan hold firm. Doesn't look as though there's a concussion, although it can be a delayed concussion sometimes. But I can't really see how he can continue. And they're not going to take a risk. Gully comes on immediately for Helveg. Deportivo have so much possession, but we're into injury time now, and they cannot find the way to pick the lock here. Serginho's offside. There will be 3 minutes of added time at the end of this game, just as in the first half. Chance here, great stretch by Abbiati. Well, I wonder if that's the last chance that will drop tonight for Deportivo. And when it does drop, again, it's not really cleanly struck, and Abbiati can stretch out that long frame almost 2 meters. Bits and pieces at last dropping Diego Tristan's way. Still Deportivo come, but still Milan get bodies in the way. Jalminha. Clever from Diego Tristan. Bernardo Silva. Romero. Got a second chance. It's going to go dead. Well may Fernando screw his eyes up in frustration. It's been that sort of night. Proved himself again tonight. He's only 22, Abbiati, one of the new breed of young Italian keepers, and they've got so many. There's not much left here now. We're inside the final minute. Milan must be thinking they've done enough. Serginho around the side. He's got 2 to aim at here. Oh, Shevchenko almost got it inadvertently. It's a decent ball, and on this surface anything can happen when it's played in bouncing like that. This might be the last chance for Deportivo. Roque Junior just puts his foot through it. Gattuso's been really outstanding tonight. It's a night not for the showmen, it's a night for those who do the graft. And he does his share and more. That's him again. What a free kick. Fantastic, Gattuso. Fantastic. They'll be tired and sore tomorrow, Milan, but they will, I think, have 3 points. And Jalminha, I think, knows the game is up here. Deportivo La Coruña have become a major force in Spanish football, mainly by turning this Riazor stadium into a fortress that nobody, not Real Madrid, not Barcelona, nor any of the big guns in Spain fancied coming to. They were unbeaten in European football this season, but that record has gone here tonight as Milan show further improvement. It's a classic Milan victory away from home. A single goal and then solid resistance throughout the 90 minutes. Defenders prepared to die for the cause. A goalkeeper who made all the right decisions when his turn came, and a midfield throwing up a blanket where every man covered the other. A tremendous Milan performance, which bodes well for the rest of the season. Shevchenko really got few sights of goal up front. One glittering chance squandered, but they won't mind because they got this goal. First half injury time, they battled for it in the area, and when it just pops out to Thomas Helveg, he was good enough to strike through the ball downward, and Molina beaten for one of the few times in European football this season. And Deportivo, well though they played up to the edge of the penalty area, could not get anything back second half. And Milan's fans must believe that they are getting better. They put the record straight here by picking up an away win, which offsets the damage done when they were held by Galatasaray at home. Milan in business in this Group B, and Deportivo, with such a poor goal-scoring record, couldn't find a way back into this game tonight. That's what's counted against them. They're far from out of it, Deportivo. It's not a fatal blow by any means, and they surely will be back in the new year, but it might get tougher. Next up in February, it will be a trip to Turkey to meet Galatasaray for Deportivo. But Milan, with confidence now, will next meet Paris Saint-Germain at home in February, and will hope to win that one as they set about making sure of their place in the quarter-finals. And moreover, Milan gave the performance tonight of a team which is improving and maybe good enough to threaten the very best in Europe. It was a hard-fought battle in the rain in Spain, and Milan were good enough to win it. The result, Deportivo 0, Milan 1, and it's back to John in the studio.